Phil's Creepy Vids. Hey there, horror fans. It's your buddy Phil here, and I'm back again to do another top 10 of the Blu Ray review. Just what I have in my collection, just going through 10 at a time. So, hope everybody out there is having a great day. So let's get down to it. We're in the F's. We will make it to the G's today, guys. First off, we got Fright Night. This stars Chris Sarandon, Roddy McDowall, and Amanda Bierce from Married with Children fame. This came out in 1985, directed by Tom Holland. And I grew up with this movie. I was 12 when this came out. I remember seeing it in theater. I used to go over to my buddy's house and we'd rent it. But yeah, Fright Night. Basically, he's a teenage kid in high school and he thinks a vampire is living next door to him. And nobody else really believes him. But yeah, if you haven't seen Fright Night, great flick. I like this one. I know some people don't think it's a good movie. I think it's a great movie, so highly recommended from me. Next we have Noche de Miedo, which is, of course, Fright Night Part 2. This was only available on DVD by Artisan, and it is going for crazy money. It's like $200 now if you want the DVD. I do have the DVD in my collection, but I really wanted an HD copy, so I had to get this one. It's like Spanish version, but it does come with an English soundtrack, and it is in 1080p HD, and all the special features are in English, and it is region free, guys, A, B, and C. So if you're looking for Fright Night 2 on Blu-ray, you can get this, Noche de Miedo. And yeah, so Fright Night Part 2 basically takes up maybe a year after the events of Part 1. And so the vampire in this one is Jerry Dandridge's sister from Part 1. So it stars William Ragsdale from Part 1. Roddy McDowall's back. And it was directed by Mark Irwin. So yeah, there you go. Fright Night 2. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. Next we have Fright Night the Remake, starring Anton Yelchin, who unfortunately passed away in a kind of a car accident. He got crushed between his car and a fence, which is very sad. And it also stars Colin Farrell as Jerry Dandridge. And a lot of people hated this movie. I saw it in theater in IMAX 3D. I really had a fun time, you know, seeing the 3D effects in this. Seeing it in theater, kind of reliving my youth. So it's not the greatest, but I kind of like it. So yeah, Fright Night the Remake. This came out in 2011. Next we have From a Whisper to a Scream. This one stars Vincent Price. It's also known as The Offspring, and it came out in 1987. It is kind of an anthology film. They're just kind of telling stories, etc. Story of a necrophiliac madman, a voodoo priest with life-prolonging powers, and a legion of children with an appetite for flesh. So yeah, I like this movie, From a Whisper to a Scream. If you want cheesy 80s, starring Vincent Price, a legend, check this one out. This is a Scream Factory release, and it comes with a whack of special features. Next, we have H.P. Lovecraft's From Beyond. This stars Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator, and it's directed by Stuart Gordon, produced by Brian Yuzna, and it's a great movie. They build, the one guy builds a machine to stimulate the gland in your brain that sees that there's demons flying around in space that we can't see unless it's being stimulated. And this is an insane movie. It's got some great special effects, all practical, and Jeffrey Combs obviously steals the show. But yeah, Barbara Crampton's in this one as well. Highly, highly recommended. From Beyond. If you have not seen this movie, see it. Next, Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino's From Dusk Till Dawn. Stars George Clooney, stars Quentin Tarantino, stars a young Juliette Lewis. Great movie. They basically are going to a bar to meet up with some guys to do a deal, and the bar is filled with vampires. So then their night of doing the deal turns into a night of fighting vampires. Cheech Marin's in this. This is a great movie. Harvey Keitel is in this. So yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn. They did make a couple sequels to this movie which aren't as good, but yeah, I really like the original. It is great. Next we have Frozen. This was directed by Adam Green. Tells the tale of 3 people going up a ski lift to have one more ski before the mountain closes, and while they're going up, they think that everyone's left, so they close the ski lift and it stops, and it's right before holiday weekend, so like 4 days the mountain's closed. So they're basically stuck on a ski lift for 4 days, and there's wolves, and a whole bunch of shit goes down. But yeah, Adam Green, one of his earlier flicks. So yeah, Frozen. I like this one. Highly recommended. Next, we have Collector's Edition of The Funhouse. This was directed by Tobe Hooper, and the late great Tobe Hooper, I should say. But yeah, it takes place at a carnival, funhouse. There's a deranged guy, and yeah, it's a good one. I really like the Funhouse. It's a really great movie. Came out in 1981. So yeah, check it out, the Funhouse. Next, we're into the G's, guys, and the first G is The Gallows, and this was not a good movie. It's your basic found footage movie, and it's not the greatest. I just had to get it, and I've watched it maybe once, but yeah, I might revisit it at some point, but I remember it not being too good. Just my opinion if you like this movie. So The Gallows came out in 2015. Last but not least, today we have Ghost Story from 1981. This stars actual Fred Astaire, Melvin Douglas, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., John Houseman, Craig Wasson, Patricia Neal, Alice Cridge, and it was directed by John Irvin. And it's 4 of Hollywood's most distinguished statesmen, Fred Astaire. They all join forces against a paranormal nemesis in Ghost Story based on the terrifying best-selling novel by Peter Straub. In a peaceful New England town, the 4 lifelong friends who make up the Chowder Society come together each week to regale each other with tales of terror, but when one elderly gentleman experiences a family tragedy, it becomes apparent that a buried secret from their youth has arisen to remind them that their sins of the past And yeah, it's 4 guys sitting around telling stories, and then it goes back in time and you see them all when they're young and what actually happened. But this is a great flick. It's a good flick on if it's like a storm outside and you turn out all the lights and throw this one on. It's a really, really good time. So yeah, Ghost Story. I highly recommend this movie. This came out in 1981. But anyways, that's my 10 for today, guys. I hope everybody out there is having a good day. I did make a playlist with all my top 10s on it. So if you want to go back and watch some of those, it is in my playlists. And that's my time. Thanks so much for yours. Have a great day, guys. Peace.
So if you guys like that video, comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in Phil's next video. Peace!